Am I audible, guys?
Yes, you are audible.
All right. Thanks for confirming. So let me share my screen. Guys, before start the session, a small disclaimer that don't consider this as a full-time course because it will take a time because I'm not taking continuously, right? Like weekly once or, for 2 weeks once only I'm able to take because I have to see my bandwidth and availability. Then only I can able to explain this class, right? So try to keep this as a reference, and but after a few months, definitely you will see very good notes, and even if you see these notes and might be sufficient for your interviews and working in real time. Okay, so as I told to everyone that I'm not disclosing any curriculum because I don't know what I will go to discuss because completely it's based on my experience, and I will try to keep on add the point add the content to the notes so that after a few months definitely we will have a very good amount of notes. Okay, and also some hands-on and use cases. The final we will do some demo project. That's what I am telling you, but it will take some time. Please be patient. Okay, right. So yeah, I will take 5 minutes to recap what we discussed in our last session, and then the rest of the time we'll try to utilize, to discuss on continuation of RDDs. Okay, so RDDs I may take one more session to do some hands-on, and then we will start data sets, or sorry, data frames, and then data sets. Spark SQL module. Okay, so as of now, we're still discussing on Spark core concepts, and once we complete the Spark core, we'll try to do for Spark data frames as well. Okay, and in the last session, I already explained there are two ways of to execute Spark applications or jobs. One is interactive shell, and another one is executive shell script. Through shell script also we can do it, and we started learning RDDs and from the basics, like what exactly the RDD. I already given a definition. You can just quickly check what exactly the RDD, because sometimes you may face interview questions like what is the difference between RDD and data frame, right? So you have to give your own answers. No need to give exact whatever text is there in our documentation. Okay, so you should supposed to explain to the interviewer where it should give some meaning of the RDD, right? So you can use this definition, and I can explain in interviews as well, right? So RDD creation, definitely we should create a Spark context if it's not there in our shell. So right, how to create a Spark context. It is inbuilt in Spark session. Okay, so if we are working in interactive shell, then by default it is available, like Spark object is available, and but when we are working in a like Jupyter notebook or real-time Python file and all, where we have to create a Spark object like here. Okay, if you are here, you are seeing on screen, right? This is the way to create a Spark object. I already given a clear explanation what exactly the Spark session and what is the difference between Spark session and Spark context in my previous tutorials. You can please go through it because I don't want to duplicate the content again and again. So I recommend you to please go through if you are not clear about the Spark context versus Spark session. All right. And so ways of creating RDD, if you see the documentation, you may see there are three methods. One is using a parallelize method. We can create an RDD, but in real time, it is very rare to use parallelize method. But since we are learning a Spark, we should know every method that we supposed to use it, right? Okay, this is one way of creating RDD, and the most useful way is this creating RDD by using text file method. Okay, this is the method we generally use in our real-time stuff. So try to get a syntax over it. Okay, it is very simple. Um, you know, like Spark is an object, then Spark context is inbuilt of this Spark session. and then we have to use a method called, that is an inbuilt method called text file. Okay, then you can give the path of the file. Okay, so here it's a just sample, but this is the only one method you're supposed to use to read text files and create an RDD out of it. Okay, and the third one is, in the document you might read that you can create an RDD from another RDD. As I told you, I didn't that much happy with that answer. Like you can ignore that method because these are the only main two methods to create an RDD. Okay, so when you do any transformation on RDD, again it will create an RDD. Okay, that we cannot call it as a another method to create an RDD, right? So that is the reason I'm just ignoring. So you can, I'm leaving for you. You can consider or not, that is up to you. But these are the two important methods. Okay, and I think this is what that we discussed in my previous session, like session 4. So today we'll continue the RDT topics. Okay, um, guys, actually I supposed to do some hands-on as well for this RDD, but unfortunately my machine is not working for PySpark. I have to debug it, the issue, and the next session definitely I will try to do some hands-on on this RDD as well. But try to note it down that these are very simple transformations that we are going to discuss today, but very important. Okay, I request you to please you have to do some hands-on in your machines to get a clarity. All right, so Spark allows us to do operations. There are two types of operations in Spark. That is this again one more interview question. Okay, so there are okay, sorry, let me give you a small introduction before to start the operations. Okay, so many of you already know what exactly the mapreduce. Okay, in case of mapreduce, what exactly is happening when we are trying to create an RDD in Spark, right? So but I think you already know the context of like how it will happen in mapreduce as well. Okay, if there is no Spark, then what exactly happen when we read some file in mapreduce mode? Okay, then see, you might saw this diagram in other areas, but just want to highlight, like we are reading data from disk. Okay, and doing transformations in a disk, and finally writing data into, or output data into, again disk. That means HDFS. Okay, disk is it is part of HDFS, right? HDFS data node, right? So here for simplicity I just given a disk diagram or picture to give some overview. Okay, so the point I want to highlight is in MapReduce, okay, or in other legacy system or traditional system. Most of the traditional systems are following this way. Okay, all our intermediate data or operations are happening in disk. Okay, so there are multiple IO operations. This, it leads to high latency, right? This is a major reason why MapReduce is much much slower than the Spark. Okay, so as usual, so why Spark is very much faster is because of this. Okay, because of this idea. Sorry. So again, if the data is in disk, then definitely Spark is, even Spark is also attempt first transformation from disk only. Okay, it will read data from disk, and based on the input size of the file, it will bifurcate into, or it will segregate the data into partitions. We will cover up the partitions in upcoming session. You don't need to worry how it will divide it and all. We will see, but try to understand what exactly happening inside the Spark execution engine. Okay, this is the major difference between MapReduce and Spark. There are other features which are already which are there in Spark to accelerate the speed of the transformations, but this is one of the important point. Okay, so only it will read one time from the disk, but multiple transformations will be happen in a memory. Okay, so you know very well, right? Doing IO operations in memory is bit faster, not bit faster, very fast as compared to disk. Okay, so this makes Spark is 10 to 100 times faster than the MapReduce, right? So this picture will give you an overview why the Spark is more powerful and more faster than any other legacy system. You can explain the similar way, in your interviews if required. Okay, so this is one of the feature I can say. Okay, an advantage, right? So I just want to cover up this topic because this may be useful when we start learning on operations, right? All right, let me jump into next slide. See, actual operations, right? Operations is nothing but Spark supports two types of operation. One is transformations, another one is actions. We will discuss action in next few minutes. But first of all, try to understand what exactly are transformations. Okay, so don't think transformation term is a different term only Spark is using. No. So before Spark also we used to do so many operations, right? But there we didn't see transformations and actions in a two separate names, but here they have bifurcated, and they bring all type of operations, I mean in the form of transformations as well as actions. Okay, so it is only you can just try to understand in a theoretical way, but in practical you can just assume like a operations. Okay, right. And the transformation of the operations which are applied to an RDD to create a new RDD. Okay, and transformations follow the principle of lazy evolution. You might heard a lazy evolution. It is very simple. Let me give an definition. Okay, so lazy evolution concept is very important in Spark, like that, like when we perform any transformations, automatically we won't see any result. Okay, so internally it will create some lineage. Okay, and you can say DAG as well, but we can see an output from the transformations only when we apply any actions. Okay, that is called the lazy evolution. Okay, so which means when we write any code in Spark by using transformations, you won't see output immediately. Okay, until unless you perform any actions. Okay, then only we will get the output of the particular transformation. Okay, we will see for some examples here. You no need to worry about it. Okay, and lazy evolution is a RDD's execution will not start until an action is triggered. That's what the lazy evolution. Okay, so few transformations are map, flat map, and filter, distinct, and reduce by, and sort by. Okay, these are only few, but if you see the documentation, you will see many more. Okay, it's not a limited. Okay, you just go through the actual documentation, or please wait for few days or months so that we will try to work on these transformations as well in our upcoming hands-on sessions. Okay, so but in this session is try to understand what exactly the transformations and then actions. Okay, with some sample of the functions which are inbuilt in a Spark. All right, so these are the map and flat map, filter, distinct, reduce by, and sort by are the few transformations which we are going to use in Spark. Okay, and this is about the transformations. And as I told you, the second one is actions, right? So action is pretty important. Like actions are the operations which are applied on RDD again, okay, which return a value to the driver program after running a computation on the data set. Okay, so it's very simple. Like in layman term, let us say we have a some sump, okay, at our house. Okay, for that we have pipes, right? To get the the water to the tank, we have a pipeline, right? So you can just think that the pipeline is a transformations. Okay, but when you switch on the motor, then only water will flow from the sump to your final tank. Okay, so here the switch is action. Okay, so you just correlate like that to understand better, right? So that is about the actions. If you want to see output, then you have to trigger an action. So in Spark terminology, what are the pre-built functions to call it as a actions? Okay, so following are the few action methods while we are writing any code. Definitely we should use any action. Okay, like collect, reduce by key, or count by key and count by value. For each, take, first, save as text file. These are the few. Okay, in documentation there are many. Okay, we will practice few transformations as well as actions with some use cases, right? So this is about transformations and actions. Okay, so let's see some hands-on. Okay, I'm not executing any code now because I told you my PySpark is not working as expected. I just tried a few minutes ago. I have to debug why it's not working. When I call it any action, I'm not seeing the output, and I'm seeing some error. Okay, so I think some is missing, and I will come back on this in my next session, and there we will see some hands-on on RDDs, right? Okay, so but to to give some overview on these operations, then I just captured some pictures from internet, and so that you people get more clarity, okay, when you see a hands-on output, right? So let me show you some hands-on. Okay, like just assume that we executed this command. Okay, here we have created two RDDs by using parallelize method. Okay, and again we just assume those are list input. Okay, and we created two RDDs, that A and B are RDDs here. Try to understand. Okay, SC is the Spark context. Parallel is the method to create an RDD that we discussed, right? And it is very simple to join an RDD. Okay, so the join is again is a transformation. Okay, so C is another RDD. We are creating out of first two RDDs, right? A dot join of B. That means we are joining A and B. Okay, don't worry if you don't mention anything, then automatically it will do inner join. Okay, so C is a collect. I mean, C dot collect is an action. Again, I told you just now. And when we perform this collect action, then we will see output like this. Right? This is only small example that I'm just trying to show, but you can practice. Okay. And for parallelize method, right? This is enough to understand. Okay, but you have to work more on text file method, right? So we will see few more. Okay, and again these are the two RDDs that we created, just assume like that. And intersection is a method, like it's kind of a common element between two lists it will pick up. So if you see A intersection B, okay, and then we are calling as a collect as an action. Okay, so it will pick common list values from both the RDDs. That is 4 and 3 are the common from the two RDDs, right? Hence we are seeing only 4 and 3 in a list format. The subtraction is similar. If it is A minus B, then 2 and 1 are not present in B, so we will generally see 2 and 1. It's quite simple. Okay, and union is again is a clubbing both the data sets. Okay, so hence we are seeing number 3 is multiple times. Okay, so okay, so I know many of you already learned the word count program in Scala and PySpark, but to know the operations of plot map, map, reduce by key, and actions, this is a very good example to understand. That is the reason again I am taking a word count program. See, again we taken a list of text, like words, we can say country names here. List is the input. Okay, and I'm creating an RDD by using against parallelize method. Generally we can use text file for this also. We can just copy and paste this text and save as a text file, and then you give text file input to input here in a line number 2. All right, so that is another method. I told you. You can try that way, okay, in your missions. Right here, I just want to show you how we are using map, flat map functions, okay. So if you see, this is the input data, and we are created in the second line, we have created RDD, okay. And then what we are just flattening, okay, based on the flattening nothing but filter, okay, based on the space. If we do like if you do perform this third transformations or third line platform transformations, then how we will see the data? Germany and India, US, those are different strings, okay. You will see that kind of output after flat map operation or transformation, okay. And then map will create an output as a RDD again, or like you can say pair RDD. There you can see if it it will try to count, okay. F is a string, okay, like in this case, if it is Germany, then it will take Germany comma 1. If it is India, India comma 1, USA comma 1. Like that, it will just give the whole output, okay. If we have a 10 inputs, like 10 country names, then we will see 10 country names as a output when we use map, right? And reduce by key is again transformation. What exactly it will do? It will just simply USA comma 1, USA comma 1 we may see, right? Okay, so what it will do? It will pick USA. USA is a key, right? That is the reason reduce by key, USA comma 1 plus 1, because USA repeating 2 times, right? That is the reason we may see USA comma 1 plus 1, that is USA comma 2, okay. That's how it will do, okay. If Germany is 1 time, then we may see Germany comma 1. India is how many times? India is 3 times. We may see output as India comma 3, right? And USA comma 2, and Russia is once Russia comma 1, and Brazil is comma 1, Canada comma 1, China comma 1. So that is the output that is expecting, okay. So as you know, till this reduce by key transformation, we won't see any output even in real time, all right. So for each is a action, to get an output, right? So when we perform this for each operation or action on this RDD, then we will see this kind of output, all right. I told you, right? Brazil comma 1, Canada comma 1, China comma 1, US comma 2, and then again India comma 3. So these kind of output we generally see in our screen when we perform an action, okay. So yeah, guys, is it clear so far? Actually, I prepared this much today because I got only limited time, and I thought to discuss many things. If you have any open questions, either in subject or in a big data world, if you have any questions or any career guidance or whatever you have any questions, you can ask me now. If you are clear with this subject or topics as of now, but going forward, we'll try to solve some use cases as well. Since I want to create a notes from the basics, so I had to cover these as well. Those who will come and see our notes or videos, they should understand, right? So from the beginning. Yeah, that is a reason that I'm just covering from the basics. But we'll see. We'll try to cover as many as possible in upcoming sessions, right? So, guys, today is very less time that I took. But you have any questions? Please let me know now. Then I will try to spend a few more minutes for you to solve any questions if I know the answers. There are multiple discussions happening in our WhatsApp group. So try to be active in that group and try to resolve if you are seeing any questions or problem statement in the channel or in a WhatsApp group. So that that is the best practice for you, okay, to get a hands-on, right?
Naresh Hemasundar here. I'm new to the Hemasundar.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm Hemasundar. I'm new to this big data. I want to practice more examples on the PySpark related things. Can you guide me which one to refer it? I mean, is there any
we
website
have,
or I?
yeah,
Sorry.
I understood what I'm saying. We have See, earlier, right, before me, my colleague was already explained Spark with Scala and Spark with Python. Okay, there are two playlists which are available in our channel itself. Okay, if you have a time, I strongly recommend. If you are well with Scala, then try to go and see Spark with Scala playlist. But if you are wanted to work on Python with Spark, then there is one more playlist which is there in our channel. You first go through there, okay, go through those videos, then definitely you will get a clarity. Okay, and on top of it, and you please try to attend these sessions, and if you miss it, and go through the recorded sessions as well. I'm going to upload it, and that is one of the good thing. And I think one more channel, I don't know his name, he's also he's also explaining in good way. I will try to post that if I get a chance. And and personal advice is, if you are new for the big data, don't invest your or don't waste your money by investing many institutions. Okay, because there are many materials, free materials, which are available in YouTube and Google. Okay, so if you concentrate and follow on either one or two channels, okay, not more than that, one or two channels thoroughly, and if you see mock interviews in our channel, almost 24 or 25 mock interviews are there. Definitely it will be very helpful to you, I'm sure. Please try to watch those videos, as well as you go through into and question and answers in a Google, after getting some knowledge on these tutorials. Okay, don't follow many channels. Okay, follow two or three if you have a time, and try to practice it. Okay, and then best practice is I mean uh, just go to the documentation. I strongly recommend, if you are new, don't go to documentation directly. You don't understand. Okay, you don't understand. So first of all, get some basic level of knowledge, and then try to read documentation. Okay, that is a good practice. Okay, and reading only, it won't give 100% insights that you know very well. Practicing is very important. Doing hands-on is very important, and doing some demo project will make sense. Okay, so I know many people will say that, if I don't know hands-on, how can I do demo project? Okay, but believe me, if you start doing something, automatically you can search something in Google or YouTube, or you can connect with your colleagues or friends, and you can do that if you think it. Okay, so try to solve some real-time use cases. That is a good way of learning in any software, right? uh, yeah, don't worry. Just focus only 2 3 channels material, uh, and then practice it. You will get it, right?
Yeah, thank you, Naresh.
All right, thank you guys. Happy weekend. We'll try to do some hands-on in the next session. Thank you so much.